Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining me on another edition of Inside Automotive right here at cbtnews.com. I have got with me the woman that we want to hear from right now as it relates to all things automotive for consumers out there that are looking to buy cars. She's got her hand on the pulse of what's happening among shoppers out there and car buyers as well. I'm speaking of Lauren Fix. You've seen her here before. She is also the Car Coach Reports. Check her out online. She's amazing. We love when she comes in and joins us. We want to find out, Lauren, from you. Welcome to the show, by the way. We want to find out from you, what are consumers thinking right now? What's the sentiment as the president is putting 25% tariffs on vehicles that are coming in from, out of the country and the parts as well? So what's your take on all of this?
Well, it's very interesting. We're seeing a lot of confusion because the mainstream media is giving a lot of disinformation.
Right.
And while dealers are saying, hey, what's on the lot? We're not gonna increase these prices. So there's been a lot more traffic on the dealer lots, which is really good because we've had kind of slow sales, and we want to start getting people back in the lots, trading in their leases or purchasing new cars. And there seems to almost be a little bit of a frenzy. People thinking if I don't buy what's here, I'm not going to be in good shape. I get a lot of communications with people that ordered cars, whether it be Mercedes-Benz, even a Ferrari, a Porsche, saying, now what?
Yeah.
So if you've got a contract and it's a signed dealer contract, you're just waiting for the product to come in.
Right.
A good dealer should not be raising the price because that was a pre-negotiated price.
Yeah.
A lot of people are very concerned about that consumer, and that's something that maybe you should reach out to all your existing customers and tell them, hey, listen, you placed an order for a fill in the blank, some great product. It's coming. Your price isn't going to go up. Now, if you're going to raise the price, you are highly likely going to lose the sale. And I've talked to a lot of consumers from that perspective as well.
Yeah.
But they think, because the mainstream media is saying, 25%, that every single price of every car is going up 25%.
Right. Not the case.
It's the same disinformation that's been put out there against Elon Musk and what happened over the weekend.
Sure.
A lot of people quoting something from a website. It's incorrect information.
Right.
And so it's good for your local dealers to get on local radio, local media, and try to get your dealership out there to say, hey, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
We're not raising the prices the dealers are on lot. Our product, whatever it might be, is either made here or it's maybe made in Canada and through USMCA. Every product's going to be slightly different. Obviously, 50% of the product is U.S. made. There's not going to be a tariff increase.
Right.
If it's made 100% in another country and there's no products from the U.S., the prices will go up a little bit. Like Ferraris, they're saying 10%.
Yeah.
If you're talking about a $2 million car, and some of them are that high, not all of them.
I don't think anybody that was going to buy a Ferrari goes, that's it, forget it. Right.
Or a Porsche, and I own a Porsche. I mean, but buying a new one's going to go up, 7%. So if I was looking at a new 911, it's not going to impact me buying one. I'm not. But if I was, that's you want the car, you're going to buy that car. It's a dream type car. It's not your daily driver. So your daily drivers, there are some brands that people are very concerned about where they're not being made here. And again, every brand has a mixture. For example, like BMW building product in South Carolina, largest plant in the entire world happens to be here, but some of their drivelines come from Europe. So again, maybe they'll move production back here. I'm sure they're in the midst of conversing with everyone in the government. So I would try to take down the fear factor. That's my biggest thing. There's a lot of fear factor that the mainstream media is putting in people's minds, and it's not good for our business.
Well, and the fear has led to what is going to be an astounding month for the month of March. I mean, the numbers are already starting to come in, and it's going to be one of the best quarters, the first quarter of 2025. But I think people have already hit that panic button and said, "Oh my gosh, I better get in." This is, of course, in the last week or so, and before those Trump tariffs hit, and get my car. When in reality, when you think about it, there's over 3 million cars currently sitting on dealers' lots nationwide.
That's a lot.
So that's a lot. That's a 3-month supply of vehicles. So and none of those vehicles are going to be touched by this. You know what I mean? So it's this craziness that people are, of course, that's what we do as Americans. We hit the panic button every time. I'm from
like
South.
When there's an ice storm, you run to the store, you buy all the bread, milk, and eggs you can. Like you're going to be trapped in your home for 6 months.
That's exactly right.
Mindset. Yeah.
Yes, I bought a generator that way. I'm like, oh my gosh, the storm never even came my way, right? But now I have a generator.
I live in Buffalo, and I live in Buffalo. We had a storm and we bought the generator afterwards, but now we have like the Tim Allen version. It's enough to light up the whole neighborhood. But But we've all done that. And I think that's where the local dealers, no matter what brand you're selling,
Right.
that you get out there and post on social media, because that costs nothing.
Right.
Get on your local radio
Great
stations.
advice. That's great advice.
Offer to your local TV stations. There's still people that watch TV. There's still people that
Yeah.
listen to the radio.
Yeah.
They're your buyers. Reach out and say, hey, listen, I'm happy to give you a quote to tell you what's going on in our lot. Now, they may not let you be very specific about your dealer brand. They might, depending on if you advertise, but just getting the word out there. Prices could go from $3,000 to $6,000 more, but only on certain vehicles. I've heard a couple different outlets saying, oh, we're going to go as high as $16,000. If you raise the price of a pickup truck by $16,000, that will be sitting on your lot forever.
That's right.
And that's where I always tell people, conquest and loyalty discounts, which we talk about and we understand.
Yeah.
There are still salespeople out there that say, oh, there's no such thing.
Right.
I get it all the time because I talk about it because I used to be a dealer trainer.
Yeah.
And we discuss this. I mean, there's some money there, but if people don't know about it, and if you ask and a salesperson says, oh, no, make sure your salespeople know about that. It's to entice people to buy. Stay with your brand or switch brands, whichever way you're working. You let them walk off the lot, they're never going to know about it. And there are salespeople that are very, we'll say, stubborn, that won't listen to what you and I are saying, what your sales manager is saying, and those are the people that are not helping your brand or your dealership.
That's right. I agree. What do you say to the dealers that are right now telling their guys and gals that are selling cars, okay, now when these customers come in after the tariffs hit, okay, we're holding gross. We're charging sticker or even above like we saw during COVID. And I know that you're a big consumer advocate and you bring a lot of information to car buyers. What's your suggestion to those dealers?
If you're the dealer in town that says, I'm going to jack up the price and put a line item below your Monroney or a side sticker that says, tariff fee or extra charge, whatever it might be. Consumers are very aware of that and they will not buy from you. They will go to another city. For me personally, I went to Bethesda to buy my Porsche. I bought cars out of Colorado Springs and I live in Buffalo. Why? Because I will shop around.
Yeah.
I prefer to buy local. You want to support your local people because they support local and it's job and it's all good for the economy. But if you have one dealer that starts playing the game, shall we say, like we did during the chip shortage, it hurts you. We have a dealer in our area who did not raise prices during COVID and during the chip shortage and said, we're not going to do it. The price on the window is the price on the window. And they did really, really well. They've had a massive profits because they were honest with their customers. And that's how you create a business relationship. I mean, it's like business 101.
Right.
Don't make the customer mad. We can get on our phones. There's the internet.
That's right. That's right. There's no question about it. Some of the positive things that can happen from this, and I've spoken to a number of dealers on this topic, because the dealers that I'm talking to, in many cases, I'd say probably 80% of the dealers that I've spoken to over the course of the last couple of weeks have said, let's give enough leash to the president on this. We're not hitting the panic button. We're not saying tariffs are bad. Let's see what happens, because if it works for the president, it works for the country. And these manufacturing plants will be built here and will put people to work with good paying jobs. Of course, the UAW, which I think is very interesting, that Sean Fain is now supporting Donald Trump's moves, which is interesting to see. But I don't think we talk enough about the fact that what if it works? What if this whole program works and President Trump was right? And short-term pain for long-term gain, right?
Absolutely. Long-term gain is the goal. Now, right now, if you look at our factories, they're being utilized between 45 and 60%.
Right.
Where's the rest of the production?
Yeah.
So they've lowered it down to like 2 shifts a day.
Yeah.
They're running on skeleton crews. And yes, the UAW is big supporters. We want 100% production capacity.
Yeah, they want capacity. Big time.
Because that means union members, union dues. It allows them to put more money into the left's pocket, essentially. But maybe, we'll see how that goes. Maybe Sean Fain has a change of heart. But the idea is to bring production back. For example, we used to buy a 351 Cleveland Ford engine. It used to be made in Cleveland. Engines for vehicles are made in other countries now because it's less expensive. But those drivelines are massive components, and it's at 50% marker. So they're going to start bringing those components back here, building here. We know this is going to happen because we've been told from insiders, either through the UAW or from Stellantis, that they were planning to shut that Belvidere plant down the moment those UAW agreements were signed. That was not good for our country, for the UAW, for workers, for anything. And they were planning to move 100% of Stellantis's work to Mexico because the cost is less. Well, President Trump had a little conversation with Mr. Elkin, and now everything's coming back. And
funny how that works.
It should be. Yeah, look.
That's right.
So I think that in the big picture, there will be a little pain. Prices might go up a bit. People are complaining. There are some people you'll never make happy. We all have customers like that. We all know people like that.
Right.
You could pay their mortgage, pay their kids' college, pay off all their bills, and they're still unhappy. I used to do a lot of sales, so trust me. There's some people you cannot make happy.
That's
it's
right.
Impossible.
That's right.
But as a whole, we want that rising tides. We want jobs to come back. We want production to stay here. We want to get those permits cleared quickly. You did a really great interview with Bernie Moreno, who's a senator of Ohio, and he said, we're going to try and get all these permitting through quickly to use some of these stagnant factories that have nothing in them or are low on production. Peter Navarro also has said that the goal is to bring back production here, where only 19% of our drive lines are being produced here. That is lost wages. That is lost jobs. That's bad for the economy. And we can't keep living as being a service-based economy. It's not going to help us because, who knows what's going to happen. But for the security of the nation, we really want to be building product here like we used to. And just think of some of these communities. And a perfect example, and just happens to be fresh in my mind, is West Point, Georgia. That town was a ghost town.
Oh, yeah, no question.
It was a ghost town. And I was there when Kia opened their first plant. And we were talking about a place that didn't even have a Chinese restaurant, a dry cleaner, a diner, nothing. It was horrible.
Right.
As soon as they built that plant, and I know they brought people in from Korea to get started, and then they left. We were there on opening day and to watch production done. It was really interesting. And now if you go back that way today, there's beautiful homes and neighborhoods and stores and anything you could think of that would be in the city. And they've built that area, Birmingham, Alabama, for Hyundai, Mercedes-Benz is down there as well. Yeah. And South Carolina, the state has had amazing growth, amazing jobs with BMW and Volvo. I mean, literally all these brands and union states as well. Yeah. So all across the country, we're seeing things. Tesla's building in Texas, they're building in California, and they are the #1 built brand, whether you like them or not. I know they don't have dealers. I know he's able to skirt the way he's doing things, but at least he's building product here, and he's going to start bringing some more of the production that he was making in Canada and Mexico back. And that's, again, jobs, jobs, jobs. That's right. And that means those people that work are going to want to spend their money to buy new cars. That's good for local dealers. Then they'll buy from the brands that they work for, too. And that's how it was when we were kids. That's right. You worked at GM. Your dad was a GM guy. You're buying GM. Oh, yeah. My dad worked for all three of, at the time, just the big three. And so I remember every time he would switch jobs, we'd get a different branded car because you have to be loyal to the brand, right? That's right. That's right. I say Lauren Fix for president in 2028. I love everything that you're saying. I don't think so. I'd be more than happy to support anybody who's going to be able to make positive change for our industry. Sure. I don't think people realize the impact of our industry. Literally everything from NVIDIA to tire companies and all the little companies around it is about half of the Dow Jones. Half of the Dow Jones. Wow. So if our industry is impacted, you're going to watch the Dow go down. And even Tesla, whether you like them or not, there was a rumor today that Elon Musk might step off a Doge. I know, I saw that. Stock went within minutes of that article. We don't even know if that article's true. Right. It's just sort of, and boom, the stock went up. So, I mean, it does impact all of us. Yeah. Obviously, the goal is to sell cars, and that means making more cars. We need to get rid of that inventory that's been stagnant on everyone's lots. We've got 24s sitting around. We've got 25s coming in. We're already test driving 2026 product, and a lot of different product that I'll get an opportunity to drive in the very near future. I know. So exciting. So exciting. Lauren Fix, automotive expert and founder of Car Coach Reports. Check this young lady out online. I know you're going to love what you see. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us once again on CBT News. It's always great having you on. We get so many great comments whenever you're on. So thanks so much. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.